Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Have a seat. Under ceremonials, we have a proclamation. Lights on after school day, October 20th, 2016. I'd like to call up Danielle Smith, Community Services Supervisor with the City of Chino. Terry Tremblay, After School Manager with the Chino Valley Unified School District. Ladies. I won't bite you. All the girls do that to me. I got a proclamation. And whereas on October 20th, 2016, Chino will join over 1 million Americans to celebrate the 17th annual Lights On After School event, a national commemoration of after-school programs and activities promoting the importance of quality after-school programs in the lives of children, their families, and their communities. And whereas the City of Chino is committed to quality after-school programs for all youth because these programs provide a safe, friendly learning environment, boost students' academic achievement, build stronger communities by involving students, parents, business leaders, and adult volunteers in the lives of the youth. And whereas over 11.3 million K through 12 children in the United States are without supervision during the after-school hours. That's a lot, huh? According to the American After 3 p.m. survey conducted in 2014 by the After School Alliance. And whereas members of the Chino focus on youth collaboration, including the City of Chino, Chino Valley Unified School District, and Chino Valley YMCA, along with many other youth service organizations, provide significant leadership in the area of community involvement to enhance the education and well-being of Chino's youth during the after-school hours, providing safe places for youth to become successful adults. And whereas the Chino community believes that every child should have access to a safe, friendly place where the lights are on after school. Now, therefore, I, Dennis Yates, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim October 20th, 2016 as Lights On After School Day. I'd like to present you guys with this proclamation. Tell us a little about the program.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you, Council, and everybody here tonight. On behalf of the Community Services Department, we'd like to thank you all for your continued support of our after-school programs. And we are going to be celebrating this week on Thursday at all of our sites with some different events.
I'd like to thank you on behalf of the school district, to the council and the mayor and the citizens of Chino. It's always an honor to serve the kids. Please come out on Thursday. Any of your neighborhood schools most of them all have after school programs. There'll be all kinds of fun things going on. And we invite everybody to come visit.
Well, we appreciate all you do for our children. Like this, now, like both parents work, don't they? That's why there's so many children without any supervision after that. So if you have children, then you need somebody to look out after them until you get home. This is the place to do it. So let's give them a round of applause. Good job, ladies. We appreciate it. Our next proclamation is Red Ribbon. Where'd I get that? Red Ribbon Week, October 24th through the 28th, 2016. I'd like to call up Ted Bistarkey, Community Service Manager with the City of Chino, Olivia Applegate, Crime Prevention Specialist with the Chino Police Department, and Jenny Mott, Nurse, Tobacco Use Prevention Education Grant Coordinator with the Chino Valley Unified School District. Proclamation reads, whereas on behalf of the citizens of Chino, I am pleased to join the Community Services Department, the Chino Police Department, and the Chino Valley Unified School District in the effort to reduce drug use by proclaiming October 24th through the 28th as Red Ribbon Week. And whereas the City of Chino works closely with the Chino Valley Unified School District to offer quality prevention and education programs for youth, such as Project Alert, a substance abuse program designed to give junior high school students an understanding of the negative effects of drugs, as well as an actual skills for resisting peer pressure. And whereas the Chino Police Department provides crime prevention outreach, which offers safety presentations and educational materials on topics including drug and alcohol awareness and providing Red Ribbon Week activities that consist of educational assemblies, demonstrations, and outreach booths as local schools in the city of Chino in an effort to encourage students to say no to drugs and strive for a positive future. Now, therefore, I, Dennis Yates, Mayor of the City of Chino, do hereby proclaim October 24th through the 28th as Red Ribbon Week. That's you, Ted? Say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council, for your continued support in regards to our collaboration that we continue to have every year with the Chino Valley Unified School District and our Chino PD in providing the necessary programs that are needed for drug and awareness.
Don't feel bad about the pronunciation. It's
Red
very
Ribbon.
hard to say. Red Ribbon Week. Our
that
officers say
10
Red
times.
Ribbon Week all the time.
Red Ribbon Week.
So we are very excited to again participate in Red Ribbon Week this year. This year, the Crime Prevention Unit, in collaboration with our canine and traffic units, will be visiting a total of 9 schools this year and reaching approximately 7,500 students. And we're very excited to be in our schools. We always like to interact with our students in our community. We will be stressing the importance of, yes, saying no to drugs, but also, as you stated in the proclamation, making positive choices for a positive future, and the importance of them understanding the decisions that they make today as a whole affect their future. And we're just excited to partner with everyone. Thank you, Mayor and Council, for your continued support in our crime prevention efforts.
Chino Valley Unified recently received or was awarded another 3-year tobacco use prevention education grant from the state of California, and that does include alcohol and marijuana and all the different
Tobacco,
drug information, so it's not just that. So we're definitely included in this. And as you talked about Project Alert, we also have other things with the City of Chino that the City of Chino teaches for us. And the City of Chino really is our largest, I'd say our primary program specialist for us. So they teach curriculum in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. They offer intervention for junior high and high school, smoking cessation for high school, and program, policy and just so the kids learn how to do advocacy for themselves, because that's an important part of doing, learning about how to learn for themselves and make good choices. So we're really excited to have the city doing more things for the grant in this next 3 years. So we really appreciate the city taking the time to acknowledge this, so the community is much more aware of the things that the city and the police department and the school district does together. So
Very
thank
good.
you.
Thank you. A lot of people don't know how many different grants we participate in with the Chino Valley, all kinds of counseling and different programs, and so we have a great partnership with the school district. And to try and overcome some of these barriers is not easy. And this is the kind of work that's done behind the scenes that most of us don't know is happening. So with that, let's give them a round of applause for the good work they do. Good job. Good job. Okay, it's sad time. We're all sad. We got a couple of retirements now. And first, a recognition of our first retiree is Corporal Curtis Burton. If you come up and bring your family, Curtis. You did all this stuff? Huh. I got his bio here. Officer Burton, on September 15, 2016, Corporal Curtis Burton retired after 31 years of honorable and dedicated service to the Chino Police Department, in which he held a number of positions and assignments that facilitated the Chino Police Department's tireless effort to serve the Chino community. Hired by the Chino Police Department in 1986, after his graduation from the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Academy, Curtis embarked on a long and diverse career touching many aspects of law enforcement. In his first 7 years, Curtis served as a patrol officer. Then in 1993, Curtis piloted the School Resource Officer Program at Don Lugo High School until 1999, when he was assigned to the problem-oriented policing team. In April of that same year, Curtis was promoted to corporal, serving in the Patrol Bureau. the Training and Backgrounds Unit, and as a detective corporal. Additionally, through his tenure, Curtis has held a number of auxiliary assignments that included the Honor Guard, the Mobile Field Force, Field Training Officer, and as a member of the Crisis Negotiation Team. Beyond serving his community as a police officer, Curtis also made himself available to a number of city and community events in which he served as an announcer, proving to be a recognizable voice to many staple in our community. Anytime the Christmas parade, he's at the announcer's booth, and of course, for quite a few years, he was the voice behind the state of the city. He's got a great voice. So on behalf of the City Council, I'd like to present to you this plaque commending your 31 years of dedication and tremendous service to the Chino Police Department and the Chino community. Curtis Burton. This is the one I'm waiting for, too, this one. Yeah. The plaque, I'll get it pretty soon. The City Council, on behalf of the citizens of Chino, wish to express their appreciation for your 31 years of dedicated service to the City of Chino and its residents. So we'd like to present to that, Curtis. And well, I came on the council 24 years ago, and most all the ones that were here then were almost gone, huh, Curtis? I knew he'd shake my hand.
Yeah, everybody is gone except for Councilmember Uloa, who is
And Duncan's
here,
been around 24
and
years.
he has been here quite a long time, not quite as long as me, but
No.
I remember meeting Mr. Duncan one late evening driving down the road. His car broke down,
Oh,
and I pulled in behind him to find out what kind of shady work he was up to at
Yeah.
that point in time.
should have known.
And when I realized who he was, I gave him a ride home, and it was kind of a neat interaction. Before you were on the council.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So this is my wife Bertie, my son Bryce, my daughters Hannah and Leah, and I just like to thank the mayor and the council. It was a pleasure to be able to work for this city, but more than that, for me it was truly an honor and a blessing to be able to serve this fine community of Chino for over 30 years. So thank you very much.
It's a pleasure. Congratulations. Good luck to you. Nice to meet you. Thanks for coming. Nice to see you. Thanks for coming. Very good. Congratulations. Corporal is now working for the Humane Society. So that's his little extra job after you retired. So that's a pretty good gig, you know. That's not bad, Curtis. Next, we'd like to bring up Chris Lovell. Chris, she's right there. Congratulations, Chris. Thank you. While she stands here, I'll read her bio. Chris Lovell has served the City of Chino for 26 years with a humble and positive attitude that has led to a number of significant contributions for the Chino community. Her tireless efforts have aided in her advancement through the planning division to hold the title of city planner. She was an integral part of our growth and development of Chino's industrial base, ensuring quality development. As we would continue to see the city grow, it is certain that many of these projects came with a successful conclusion due to Chris's leadership and expertise. In her tenure, Chris has been involved with projects that include the Majestic Spectrum and the Marketplace, the East Chino Specific Plan, the Preserve Specific Plan, and as well as the most recent General Plan. Moreover, throughout the past decade, she has monitored and guided the city's planning staff during a period of tremendous growth within the Preserve and College Park. She has a true heart of service toward our citizens. This spirit of service will be carried forward by the staff that she really cared for and that you led. Also, on behalf of the City Council, I would like to present you with this plaque that honors your perseverance and commitment to the City of Chino's progression. And it reads, the Chino City Council, on behalf of the citizens of Chino, wish to express their appreciation for 26 years of dedicated service to the City of Chino and its residents. So I'd like to present that to you.
Thank you.
Would you like to make a few comments? What are you going to do in your retirement? Go to work? Like
Well,
Curtis?
I don't. That's a hard act to follow.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm involved in some volunteer organizations.
Good.
Belong to the Master Gardeners of Orange County, so if you saw my yard, you'd know that I need to retire in order to
Keep
live
it
up
up.
to that. But no, they do a lot of work with kids and setting up school gardens and
Oh,
things like
cool.
that. So
Yeah,
I'm really
nice.
excited to spend some more time doing that. But
Nice.
you know, wow, it seems like, you know, almost just yesterday when I was back from Ontario here at City Council meeting, and it was, what, 13 years ago, I guess, but it just seems like time really does fly, especially when you enjoy what you do, and I really have enjoyed, you know, what I'm
Well,
doing.
you were
I mean,
damn
this
good
isn't-
at it.
Well, you know, I don't know about that. Very,
Yes,
very
you were. Yes,
kind
you
words.
You were very good at it.
But I just, you know, some of the things that have, you know, I've thought about now is just, you know, they say that you can't go home again. And when I left Chino for a few years to go to Ontario, coming back, it really did feel like home again. You know, it's just a feeling that has been fostered here by the city council. It really is something that I think is very unusual, very unique. So I really appreciated it when I was here, but then coming back, it really kind of reminded me that, you know, it's like an extended family
Yeah,
here.
it is.
And you guys have all done so much, all council, to help us feel that way. Not just me, but other employees say that too. So I just feel really grateful and very appreciative of the support over the years. So thank you very much.
Well, we really appreciate all you've done for our community. You've done an outstanding job, and we hate to lose you. But we want to wish you best of luck in your endeavors, and don't be a stranger.
Oh, I won't be. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Let's give her a round of applause. Okay. Next on the agenda is public communication. I have a request from Chaplain Mike Spradlin to lead us in the invocation. Those that wish to participate, please rise.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Would you join me in a word of prayer? Father, we gather before you tonight. We thank you for the amazing investment that we are making in this city to make it a better place. And Father, I thank you for just amazing individuals like Curtis and Chris who've given a majority of their lives to serving you. And Father, we as a community ask your blessing upon them because of what they've done. And Lord, for a lot of us, we don't know what that looks like. But Father, I am grateful for their service. Father, I thank you for this time here that we have to lift up the needs of our city. We get to present those to you. What a great community we live in with the volunteers that make this special, with all of our Boy Scouts that are here that continually serve. Father, I'm just reminded about what a great place this is to work and to live. And Lord, we ask for your continued favor and blessing. And Father, I know tonight's probably my last chance to pray for our mayor before he retires. And Father, I ask for those two things that he always asks me to pray for wisdom for him and for strength. And Lord, I pray that for our entire council, for our entire city staff, our department heads. Lord, we ask for your favor with them as they lead us and continue to make this the best place to be. And so, Lord, we give you tonight, we ask you for your that same wisdom and strength for us as we look at the individual items on the agenda, but to propel us forward. Lord, we give you the praise. I give you the glory. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Have a seat, folks. Under public communications, I have a written request. Jason Zarro from the Chino Valley Chamber. Jason?
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Mayor, council, and staff. I just wanted to come up to take one last chance to invite everyone out to join us for our Business Expo this Saturday. It's at the shops in Chino Hills, but it's featuring 50 businesses from throughout the Chino Valley. We're very proud of the event we've put together, and it's going to be a fantastic day. It's going to be Saturday from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., And we have a great cross-section of local businesses, nonprofits, organizations. It's going to be a really exciting day, chance to win a $500 shopping spree. So everyone please come join us on Saturday. Thank you.
Thank you for the information. The next written request is Melissa Campani from Supervisor Hagman's office. Melissa?
Well, good evening, Mayor Yates and Mayor Pro Tem Ulloa, distinguished council members. I just wanted to announce, hopefully, a save the date. We are having an event on November the 18th, and this is Supervisor Hagman inviting you to our Veterans Day Appreciation Day. It's going to be a wonderful event. We have approximately 100 vendors, nonprofits, county services, and we're going to also have some job fair things going on. This is a big one. If by that time you haven't had a flu vaccine, Dr. Lally and the Chino Valley Medical Center will be on hand to give you your flu vaccine. Another bit of information is that the Chino Senior Center is offering to help assist transport any of our senior veterans to this event so that they can come with their families and enjoy the day. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. Our next written request is from Stubby Barr. Stubby? Yeah, no, item 13. Oh, I'm consent calendar. I'm sorry, I missed that. That's all the written requests I have to speak for public communications. What I'd like to do right now is we have several Boy Scouts in the audience. What I'd like you gentlemen to do is come up to the podium, give us your name and your troop and why you're here this evening. Don't everybody jump up to the microphone. Behind you. Give us your troop and your name and your troop.
Okay. I'm Troop 206, and we have some other troops like. Okay, my name's Samuel McMullen.
Your
Yeah.
Troop 206, where are you out of?
Where are we?
What
in
city?
Chino?
From Chino? Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
My name's Dylan Ojeda, and I'm from Troop 206, and we're out of Chino.
Thank you.
My name is Frankie Peck. I'm from Troop 206, and I'm from Chino.
My name's Bruin Salmon, and I'm from Troop 206, and I'm from Chino as well.
My name is Jared Montanez. I'm from Troop 2245, and I'm from Chino.
Is that Diamond Bar?
Excuse me?
Where are you from? What city?
Chino.
From Chino. What's your troop number?
2245.
Huh. Well, I don't know that one.
I am Sean Stempinski. I am from Troop 206 out of Chino.
Nice to have you.
My name is Eduardo Miranda, and I'm from Troop 2245, and I come from Chino.
Thank you.
My name is Tyzon Wright, and my troop is 2245, and I'm from Chino City.
Thank you.
My name is Arturo Guzman. I'm from Chino, and my troop is 2245.
My name is Andrew Groh, and I'm from Troop 200, and I'm also from Chino.
My name is Mitchell Harrington, and I'm from Troop 200, and I'm also from Chino.
Good to have you.
My name is Joseph Moreno. I'm 2245, and I'm in Chino.
Good.
My name is Tosh Kuhn. I'm from Troop 200, and I'm from Chino.
Good to have you.
My name is Victor. I'm from Troop 2245, and I'm in Chino.
Thank you.
My name's Kobe Kuhn. I'm from Troop 200 and from Chino.
Glad to have you.
My name is Henry Panate. I'm from Troop 2245 from Chino.
Did we get them all? Well, thanks for being here, gentlemen. I think you're eligible for a badge for being here this evening. I'm pretty sure you are. So good luck with that.
Hey, Dennis, how many troops do we have in Chino now? It seems like I've never heard we had this many.
Well, the 2245, I don't, what, are you out of a church or who sponsors you?
They had to transfer from a different council, so they changed their number, so they added an extra 2.
Oh, okay, that's what confused me. I hadn't heard that number before. Okay, it's good to have you here. So with that, we'll end public communications, and we'll go to the consent calendar. I have one item to be pulled, and that's item 13. So I would entertain a motion for the rest of the consent calendar. The item passes yes with, in the majority. Item 13, Stubby Bar, you're up, sir.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This item has to do with the acceptance of construction project, the installation of the signal, and the associated ADA improvements at Central and Riverside, which was the very, very first traffic signal in Chino. I don't know if you know that.
That's right, we know that. Oh, yeah.
It does not qualify for historic status, though. The reason I'm here is once again to defend the disabled community. Part of this project is ADA compliance, quite a bit of it actually. The new ramps, new corners, new push buttons, and all the associated, it goes with the 4 crossings in the corner. The staff report indicates that 3 of the corners are fully compliant with all of the requirements of the ADA and the CBC, and that the southeast corner cannot be made compliant because of technical infeasibility. The term technically infeasible is defined in the building code, California Building Code, which is more stringent than the ADA in this particular instance. And I've given you all of the information in the packet that you were handed. I don't have time to go through the whole thing, unfortunately, in 5 minutes.
I wouldn't let you. This thing is a lot.
Well,
Jeez.
I wanted you to have all the code sections and the
Yeah,
references because
you definitely did.
The crux of the matter is this. There are violations at all 4 corners. Some of them are minor, but they're still violations. And the ones at the southeast corner, in addition to the items that the city engineer has said are impossible to do except to the maximum extent possible due to right-of-way, there are additional problems on that. They're all listed. You may not understand them. The code sections are there, and they're readily visible. I did not do a complete comprehensive survey on this intersection. I didn't need to, because all of the observation, or all of the violations that you see here are observable by the naked eye or by what we call tactile runs. You run your wheelchair over a surface, and if you've been in a wheelchair for a while, some things are apparent to you. The project is not complete until it meets ADA. The ADA is incorporated into the California Building Code. A violation of the building code is a violation of the ADA. ADA is civil rights. It is not a construction code. People tend to think of it as construction code. It contains standards. If we meet those standards during construction, the law says that we are not discriminating against handicapped individuals. If we do not meet those standards, we are discriminating. It's the civil rights of the disabled community are also upheld in the California Disabled Persons Act and in the UNRU Civil Rights Act. So a violation of the building code, and you have the list, is also a violation of all of these civil rights laws. In addition, if there's any federal funds involved in this project, I don't know if there are, it's a violation of Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. In addition, in here you will find all of the code sections regarding technical infeasibility. The determination of something being technically infeasible rests with the enforcement authority as designated by the building code. That enforcement authority is you, as the governing body of the city. Any public funds that are spent on public works, the enforcement of the disability and the accessibility requirements fall on you. The city engineer and our ADA consultant are not authorized, and they do not have the authority to make that decision. You have all the information. I hope you read this. Some of this stuff is pretty obvious. Some of it is a little more detailed, the way they write the codes, but it needs further work, and I urge you to not accept this as complete until such time as it is made compliant with the accessibility codes. Thank you.
Thank you, Stubby. Appreciate the heads up. Is this Jose's baby, or? It's, Stubby, it's a little difficult for us to get this at the
I
time of the
understand.
meeting. And
That's why I gave you all that.
and we don't have time to digest it right now, so. All of this that Stubby's brought up, and he has it pretty well documented. What's your comment on it, Jose?
We just received this like 5 minutes before the council meeting started, so haven't even had a chance to go through it and read it. But I do just want to give you a little bit of history on that intersection and why we did the project. This intersection initially started giving us a few maintenance issues with the controller that controls it. That's the computer. And all the underground wiring, it is older wiring. As he said, it's the first intersection in Chino. It's been serviced throughout its life. And it was time to address some of the maintenance issues that we kept having recurring problems with. The other issue also was trucks that were just making deliveries in the area, northbound, central, making a right turn onto Riverside to make deliveries, whatever they were doing, were hitting the signal poles, climbing up the curbs, and causing us more maintenance problems. One of the poles was, the main pole there was hit pretty bad, and we were concerned of its integrity. So there were many reasons why we did the project, and we wanted to move on with it to maintain good control over that intersection, right-of-way control, on a very busy intersection. Riverside's a very busy street, and Central Avenue is a very busy street. But we recognize when we do these projects, it does trigger us, require us to do the ADA improvements. He's right, that's law. We have to comply. We brought on an ADA consultant quite some time ago, and a qualified and very competent city engineer because we needed to do a better job of that. You know, we recognized that early on, and we brought in that technical expertise to help us with this. So the contract was awarded. The contractor at city direction did the job, and we did, and we'll focus on the wheelchair ramps here for a while, but we did a lot more that involved ADA. 3 of the corners, according to our consultant, met the requirements. We went out there, measured, looked at slope, looked at the truncated domes, and I was satisfied that with the report that we got, they were done after we sent the contractor back out to make some corrections. So there were some errors, and we corrected them. On the southeast corner was a challenging corner. I believe Councilman Duncan was with me and our city manager, Matt Ballantyne. We went and met with the property owner, explained the project, what we needed to do, and we could not come to an agreement on getting additional right-of-way to do the improvements properly. So we knew we were constrained. We then moved forward with the construction of the project, because again, we had maintenance, operational issues to deal with. To the best of our ability, we tried to comply with everything from ADA. We had constraints. And we then put additional ped push buttons. If you look at it, it's right in the center where we normally don't put them, to make sure that someone in a wheelchair or of other disability can get to it and cross safely. We looked at all the crossings carefully. We spent a lot of extraordinary funds that we weren't planning on spending to bring it up to grade on many levels. We even came back to council at one point, asked for $10,000 more to continue with the improvements, because once we started digging into the ground, other things came up and we were running out of money. So we came to you and requested that. I'm told again, we're compliant on 3 and with constraints on the 1 to the best of our ability. This contractor has complied with everything the city asked. We owe him $11,000. He's been held off for about 2.5 months. I would like to see him paid. In order to pay him, we have to close the project out, accept these improvements. I can tell you that we'll read the document that Mr. Barr has submitted to us. If there is problems there, we want to be fair to everyone, whether you're a motorist or someone in a wheelchair. It is not our intent to shy away from not being fair to everyone. We'll come to you and recommend corrections if need be. But the contractor has complied with everything. I don't know if that gives you a little bit more background on why we did the project.
Yeah, well, it does, and I think we ought to pay the contractor if he's completed all he contracted to do. But as Stubby says, I don't think we should have that signed off as complete until such time as you go over Stubby's document. But I would ask the council to go ahead and pay the poor contractor 2.5 months behind on what we owe him. He shouldn't have to suffer for that. And if we could, after if you can meet with Stubby and go over these documents that he gave us, and then re-agendize it for money to complete the total project, that would be my recommendation. Jimmy, do you have something to say about this?
Yeah, very briefly. I just wanted to point out that this contractor is here today to make a required legal finding that the contractor's work complies with the provisions of the contract. Once you make that finding by issuing the notice of completion, you got to pay him.
Yeah.
You probably can't sue him if you find something wrong later on. That's not to mean that the council can't authorize additional expenditures if on review it finds other things that are wrong. But the action tonight is not just to pay him. The action is to accept the project as complete.
If he complied with everything that we required him,
Yeah.
that's obvious. But I really don't want the whole project to be completed if there's still items out there that need to be corrected. And I would ask the council to move to pay the contractor, but to actually not really close that job. And once he can, staff can get control of it and read Stubby's comments, that he come back to the council with, he's gonna need additional money to get those errors corrected. Do you have a comment, Eunice?
Yeah, I think Earl had his light on first.
Well, I just, we owed the contractor the money.
Yeah, right.
And we got these documents tonight, so we didn't have time to go over them. But I would request that staff goes over this document, brings it back to the council. If we need to do more improvements, if we're wrong in areas, then, and, vote on and move on. But the contractor's done what we've asked him, so.
Duncan?
Yeah. Having been involved in this in the beginning, I think there's more to it than just correcting errors or anything like that. I think we have constraints, like Jose said, where we physically can't make all the improvements right now. So what I would suggest is maybe we go out there again and talk it over again and see if maybe we can get some movement on this. Because that's the only way we're really going to solve this long term.
Would we have to do some condemnation?
Maybe, but I think we can work it out. I'd be willing to go out there with Jose and Matt like we did before and talk.
Eunice?
Yeah, if the contractor has indeed complied with all of our requirements, then we by law have to pay him. But I'm concerned with the items that Stubby has brought up. Obviously, we haven't read the document, Stubby. You understand that. So I would make a motion to pay the contractor I don't know if we are legally required to declare it complete, but I do believe that we do have to address this document and address the items that Stubby said are not in compliance. And then if one of them is the right-of-way, we do need to strive to resolve that issue. But it's difficult right now. You haven't read the document, we haven't read the document. Stubby, you know the law inside and out, so I know.
We're not disputing your knowledge.
Yeah,
Yes, we already knew that.
not at all. But legally, I don't want to not pay a contractor and then get sued if he indeed has complied with what
he was
we
supposed to do.
required him. Now, if we haven't required him to do everything, then we have to go back and make it right.
I addressed that right at the beginning of my summary. I have no problem with paying the
Yeah.
contractor. I just don't want to see the project closed as complete.
It won't be. It won't be. And I have a motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, if you'll all please vote.
We're voting on 13?
Well,
Yeah, on 13.
it's not on the screen.
No, it's not.
There it
There
is.
you go. Item passes 5 yes for majority approval. Thank you, Stubby. Appreciate that.
Thank you, and
We'll keep
Councilman
on it.
Duncan, if you want, I'd be more than happy to join you out there and
Okay.
go through it.
All
Thank
right,
you.
thank you.
We need to hire Stubby.
Thanks, Stubby. Okay, we move on to, do we have some students from Don Lugo here?
Where you guys?
What you doing here?
Made a wrong turn on Grand Avenue.
Are you doing the assignment from classes? Huh?
Come
Why
on
don't you
up.
guys come up, introduce yourself, give us your school, your course, and who your teacher is.
All the high school students. Not too many.
Hello, my name is Omar Zurita. I'm from Don Lugo High School. This is for government, and we have Chuck Sade. We have Chuck Sade for our teacher, but
Oh, okay.
he's out right now, so we have a substitute.
Okay. Thanks for being here.
I'm Vanessa Thompson. I go to Don Lugo, and Mr. Lentz is my substitute for government.
Great, thanks for being here.
My name is Joseph Castaneda. I go to Don Lugo, and my substitute is Mr. Lentz for U.S. government.
Thanks for being here.
My name is Brianna Ortega. I'm here for my U.S. government class, and my teacher is Ms. Carpentier.
Thanks.
I'm Mary Martinez. I'm a senior, and my teacher is Ms. Carpentier, and I'm doing it for U.S. government.
Good, thanks for being here, guys. Okay, we're gonna move to new business. Item 15, introduction of ordinance number 2016-014, amending chapters 9.24 and 12.20 of the Chino Municipal Code. Our report this evening is by our city attorney. Jimmy?
Yes, Mayor. Yes, Mayor, members of the city council and public. This is a relatively simple ordinance, but it's an important one. What we're doing is we're revising the circumstances under which people can be cited for infractions if they are carrying open containers of liquor on public property and city parks, and they're all designated as infractions.
Okay, I'll open this for public comment. Anybody wish to address the council on this item? Seeing none, I'll close it. Any questions by council? Entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Howie, seconded by Councilman Duncan. Item passes 5-0. Jimmy?
Yes, this is ordinance number 2016-014, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of Chino, California, amending provisions of Chapter 9.24 and Chapter 12.20 of the Chino Municipal Code.
Thank you, Jimmy. Item 16, award of contract street rehabilitation fiscal year 2015 to 2016. Our staff report to the city tonight is the Assistant City Manager and Public Works Director, Mr. Jose Alaire. Jose?
Thank you, Mayor and members of the City Council. Each year, the City Council appropriates $2 million for street rehabilitation. Last year's project, the 1516 Street Rehab, the Street Infrastructure Committee approved Ramona Avenue between Walnut and Philadelphia, Pipeline between Edison and Eucalyptus, and Riverside between Central and Oaks. Now, Riverside Drive, that project was already awarded with the award of contract for the water line that's going down Riverside Drive between Central and Oaks. And the reason for that is we're going to be digging up that street, and it was the perfect time and opportunity to get that done since we're right there doing a lot of work. And we've been waiting for the money to get that water line done and do the road and get it done right. So we finally had that opportunity, and thank you very much. Now, for this project, the plans and specifications were prepared for Ramona and Pipeline, the two remaining streets. A notice inviting bids was published, and on August 18th, we received 4 bids. R.J. Noble Company of Orange, California submitted the lowest bid in the amount of $1,429,375. This firm is properly licensed and has been deemed the lowest responsible bidder. In addition, staff's requesting $143,000 for project contingencies. That concludes my report on this item, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Jose. Prior to council questions or comments, I'll open this for public comment. Anybody in the audience wishing to address the council on this item may do so now. Quiet group. Seeing none, I'll close public comment. Any questions of council? Entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Howie. Please vote. Item passes 5 yes, no objections. Item 17, award of contract, Chino Avenue Storm Drain, Benson Avenue to Oaks Avenue, project number SD 151. Our report again by Jose Alaire. Jose?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. This fiscal year capital improvement program budget includes the construction of the storm drain on Chino Avenue between Benson and Oaks. Now, the Chino Avenue storm drain includes the installation of a master plan facility storm drain, a 60-inch diameter, and grind and overlay of Chino Avenue curb to curb in this area. We prepared plans and specifications, and a notice inviting bids again was published locally. And on Tuesday, August 16th, we received 15 bids. There was a lot of interest in this project. Young and Associate, they have done work in the city of Chino before, but they're from Pasadena, California. They're properly licensed and deemed to be the lowest responsible bidder, and their bid came in at $984,525.50. In addition, staff's requesting $98,460 for contingencies and $50,000 for construction support, as we need to do geotechnical work out there as well. That concludes my report on this item.
Thank you, Mr. Alaire. Prior to council comments or questions, I'll open this for public comment. Anybody in the audience wish to address the council on this item may do so now. Still no action.
All the money.
I'll close the public comments. Council questions? Entertain a motion. It's moved by Councilman Duncan, seconded by Councilman Elrod. Please vote. Item passes 5 yes with no objections. Item 18, purchase order, Elgin CNG Broome Street Sweeper. Again, we turn to Mr. Alaire.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Now, this item before, This item before you tonight is to replace an existing street sweeper that we have kept. We kept this even though we are contracting out now street sweeping services. Athens is doing our street sweeping, and they're the ones that go through the streets in your neighborhoods. You see them doing now. But this sweeper really is for our own CIP type projects when we have the need to go out, or when Kurt Powell or Bob Bodish are out there doing work and they need to get some of the debris picked up. When we have accidents that occur or spills, this type of sweeper is going to help us with that, and that's why we held on to it. It also allows us to respond a lot quicker on the spot. Weekends, when our duty people are around, we can run this thing out there and take care of things quickly, many times quicker than us calling in the contractor to come in and do it, as they might be in other areas of the city. So there's a lot of reasons why this was kept. This unit was fully depreciated. It was worn out, and that's why we're here before you tonight. And on September 2nd, we received 2 bids after we put the specs together and we published this locally. And we received 2. One was from Sweeper Shop of Upland, California, and the other one was from Haker Equipment of Laverne. Now, the bid submitted by Sweeper Shop was for a different type of sweeper. It was not what we specified in our requirements. And as a result, it's unacceptable, and we're recommending that you reject that bid. Now, Haker Equipment, they were deemed the lowest responsible bidder, and their bid came in at $332, $736, and 12 cents. However, once we found out that this firm participates in the National Joint Powers Alliance, or NJPA Cooperative Purchasing Agreement, we requested that they give us the same price as they did under this JPA, and they reduced the price to $331, $669, and 12 cents. So about $900 off.
Kept the 12 cents, huh?
So yep, they want the 12 cents. They want the 12 cents. They won't let me off on the 12 cents. So therefore, staff's recommendation on this one is to reject the two bids that we received and then approve a purchase order to Hacker Equipment for one broom sweeper in the amount of $331, $669, and the 12 cents through the NJPA Cooperative Purchasing Agreement. And that concludes my report on this item.
Thank you, Jose. Prior to council questions or comments, I'll open for public comment. I do have a written request for this item. Stubby Barr again. Stubby?
Thank you again, Mayor and Council. This has nothing to do with ADA. A year ago, you approved a contract for street sweeping, and part of the justification for that contract was that we would not have to replace sweepers. The contract was given to Athens, allows for on-call services within a specified time frame. It allows for emergency services. It allows for anything that we would need a sweeper for. We're spending $250,000 to buy a street sweeper, but a few months ago, we didn't have but $135,000 to spend on the administrative ADA requirements that were 26 years behind it.
You said you weren't going to bring up.
I know. But the point is, if everything's contracted out, why do we need a brand-new sweeper? I used to own, in the 80s, a 1956 white broom. The things are indestructible. They are built to be worked on. And if you only need it for occasional use, which is what we used it for, it seems like a pretty extravagant purchase, especially since if you look at, I don't know if Angela distributed it, but I gave her copies of the justification, the staff report from last year. You should have those. Angela? Okay. If you read that, you'll see that part of the justification, the financial justification for budgeting for the contracting out of the street sweeping services was that we would not have to replace two sweepers at over $600,000. Here we are replacing one sweeper for more than half of that. So that's my question. Thank you.
Thanks, Stubby. Explain that to us there, Mr. Allaire.
There was quite a few comments made there, so I'll try to recap here. Alluding to the money, this money, this item was depreciated, and that goes into its own specific account. We cannot use that money other than vehicle and equipment replacement. So I could not use it on ADA improvements throughout the city on streets. That's not what it's for. That's a different color of money, if you will, and I'll just leave it at very general at that. That's why you can't spend it elsewhere. This sweeper is a 2001 model, equivalent to about 368,000 miles. We've used it a lot. We've had it for several years when we used to sweep our own streets. Yes, the contract does allow us to do certain things, but many times when we have to respond quickly, we need equipment to get our job done. We have those situations that occur. We are a large city. We have now the preserve area, College Park, that we need to move quickly. Again, the money's earmarked for the sweeper. I can't spend it on anything else. And that's our recommendation, is to move forward with this purchase and replace that to give us the tools that we need to properly maintain this city.
I know that we used to have a problem when it used to rain. You remember that? where some of the main thoroughfares, especially Edison and Schaefer, would become overtaken by debris. And we had to get somebody out there in a hurry. And at that point in time, we had our own sweepers, and we'd get them out there because people get irritated if you shut down their streets. And that is a good point, is we, even though we're contracting with Athens, the response may not be fast enough for safety purposes even, that they get a unit out there. So I can understand the need for that unit.
And Mayor, you bring up a good point. If you realize when we get the Santa Ana winds, we have debris everywhere, and it is overwhelming. We're scrambling, trimming trees, picking debris up. I recall several times, like Schaefer and East End years ago, like you said, when it rained, we had to get out there. There were cars sliding because there was so much dirt in there. This type of sweeper is different than the vacuum sweepers that the contractor has. So it's a little different use, and that's why our recommendation stands.
I remember getting lawsuits because we didn't clean the streets at the time somebody had an accident. Yeah.
Well, Mayor, when we moved or shifted to going to contract services, we never said we were gonna eliminate the whole street sweeper program or get rid of them all. We just said we were gonna limit ourselves. We also lost, I believe, one to fire. We had a street sweeper that caught fire.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So, we're actually down to, just, I think it's actually gonna be one after we replace this. But it was never the intent when we made the shift. And then really the cost savings was not only not having to have 3 in our fleet, but also staffing, through attrition. We were gonna, see a reduction in staffing, so, but we never had surmised that, we were gonna forego having a street sweeper altogether. Yeah, we needed it, and especially if there was an emergency. I mean, I know the whole El Nino thing didn't pan out, but,
It might.
we do use it, and, but that was never the intention.
Eunice?
What's the estimated life for this new sweeper? 20 years?
20 years, our fleet manager indicated 20 years.
Okay, and the old one is 15 years old, approximately?
16. yeah.
16?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, they're also used for accidents as well, right?
Correct.
To clean
Yeah,
up.
when needed, I mean.
Yeah, when needed.
Yeah, we're picking up debris. I mean, you never know what's gonna happen,
Yeah.
you know?
I do think we need a new one, for safety.
Others examples, I mean, sometimes people use like paints and stuff in the curb, and so we'll get an NPDES complaint, and so we need to get out and clean it up right away before it gets into the storm drain. And so I mean, there has been many instances where we've been able to take advantage of that.
Okay, any other questions? Entertain a motion. Moved by Duncan, seconded by Howie. Please vote. Item passes yes, 5 votes, and no negative. Okay, thank you, Jose. Next is mayor and council reports. Under mayors, we have quite a few events coming up in the next couple of weeks as we exit October and enter November. First, on Saturday, October 22nd, we have the Autism Resource and Fun Fair from 3 to 5 p.m. Available to all those who have been touched by autism. Pre-registration is required for this free event. Where's it being held, staff? Youth Museum? Okay. Youth Museum here downtown. Next, we have the Spooky Senior Dance for those 50 years older. This is Duncan and Eunice and...
And you. Oh, that's right, they're not 7 years and older.
Yeah, that's right, so I don't qualify. It's $5. It's going to be on Thursday, October 27th, 2 to 4 p.m. You can purchase the tickets at the Senior Center. And finally, Halloween night. We have highly anticipated Halloween Spooktacular to be held at the Chino Spectrum Marketplace from 4 to 8 p.m. There's all kinds of things going on there, and you can trick or treat for 4 hours, and you can be supervised. Your children will be safe there. So I encourage you, if you're going to let them trick or treat, that's the place to take them. Lastly, to give everyone an early reminder about our very popular event, Bark Around a Yellow Park, November 5th, beginning at 9 a.m. and concluding at noon. And this event gives all of our dog lovers out there the chance to meet and socialize while participating their dogs in fun events like agility contest, best trick contest, a community walk, and much more. So you want to, if you like that, you can participate. Next, Mayor Pro Tem Lovell.
Yes, just a few things this evening. On the 7th, I attended the Kiwanis Bunko. I even got my husband to play, which is interesting. Wes's mom was there. She is the nicest lady, and your sister. It was really a lot of fun. There were quite a few people there.
Did you win?
No. I don't win things. I just don't. Bob does, I don't. And then on the 13th, Earl and Sandra brought a band up from Orange County.
Redondo Beach?
They're from all over the place.
From all
They
over
live
the
all
place.
over, but they travel.
They had listened to this band a couple of times, and it was absolutely phenomenal. I haven't had that much fun in forever. They played 50s and 60s music, which, you know, I grew up during that time, so it was just a lot of fun.
You and Custer?
No, I think it was even before Custer.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, it was so much fun. I want to thank you and your family for doing that. It was just,
Yeah, we had a
everybody.
ball. It was fun.
Oh, my gosh. Even the chief of police danced.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I
Karen
got,
even
got a lot of
danced.
photos.
It was
Incriminating.
fun. We had a
Oh.
great time. And then, that was Thursday night, and then this weekend was my husband's 60th school reunion. He graduated from Pomona High in 1956,
Whoa.
and so they had an event Friday night. It was at the Sheraton, and then the big event, now you have to understand, everybody's older, right? So the big event was from 11 till about 3 in the afternoon, because you don't do things at night because people can't see to drive. So,
Plus they're asleep by 6.
yeah, they're asleep by
Makes
6.
it hard.
But it was so much fun listening to them reminisce and talk about the old days and the things that they used to do. Oh, my goodness sakes, those people were a little wild for their time, I think. And then Sunday they had a breakfast, so this was a really, really good weekend. Got some great pictures of Bob with, you know, his classmates, and it's so funny because he'd go, boy, they're sure looking old. Okay. So it was fun. Anyway, that's all I have.
Thank you. Councilman Elrod.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. I just want to comment to Eunice that, you know, it seems like we have fundraisers and all that stuff all the time, and, you know, it's like you walk in, I gotta go, and, you know, but I just thought it's time to have a party, and that's one thing I can organize, so.
Oh, it was fun.
Sandra gave me the approval, so I went ahead and did it, but those guys are really good. There's 4 of them, and they can sing.
Oh, my gosh, they were phenomenal.
What upset me is I knew all the words, and those songs were 1950 and 60. I go, that's depressing.
And then they serenaded Dennis's
Wife,
wife.
yeah, my
They
wife.
actually went up and sang right to her.
One of them rubbed her cheek.
I thought
She was like,
gonna
oh,
die.
no.
She got, oh, it was fun. Earl, I just thank you so much. That was really fun.
Yeah, we need more of those.
Yeah, I agree.
That concludes my report.
All righty, Councilman Howie.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Curtis and Chris for their many years of service to our city. They're going to be missed, and they're great employees. I mean, couldn't ask for better employees. Did a great job for our city, and, you know,
She'll
just
come back.
maybe she'll come back. Well, yeah, she came back. Well, yeah,
Well, you
maybe.
did it
Yeah,
once.
never know, Chris.
Take a couple years and come back.
On the 6th, I attended the League of Cities in Long Beach, for the usual cities, all the different talk about the economy and how the state is doing and all the different things. I'm sure Glenn will, who was our voter, who voted on a number of different things, and will make some comments about that. Also, the Chino DeSalter Authority, I attended the finance meeting and a regular meeting. And then at Citizens Business Bank, they had the economic forecast, another economic forecast last week, attended by about 200 people, and they had 3 economists get up and kind of talk about what they thought was going to happen, especially in the next 2 years. All of them forecasted that we were not going to go into another recession for at least 2 years. I couldn't guarantee any more time than that. And then they talked about that everything just seems so negative, but they thought that we're not doing that bad, actually, that they thought we were doing pretty good, not phenomenal. But I think some of the areas of concern was obviously people commuting in Southern California. I think they said the Inland Empire, they'd like to see more businesses come out here that would be higher paying jobs so that people wouldn't have to travel to Orange County or to downtown Los Angeles. And one of the guys had a graph of commuting times. And it said, like, from Upland to downtown LA on a Thursday morning, it's 2 hours to drive to downtown. And then coming home at 5 o'clock from downtown LA to get back to Upland, I don't know why they didn't use Chino, but I guess it's same thing, was 2 hours and 20 minutes was the average travel time to come back, just because the amount of people have to work in other areas. So they kind of thought that if we could get more industry out here, more professional type businesses out here, that some people could actually work and live more in the area, and that would be for anywhere, trying to help cut down on traffic. But they also talked about housing, how there's a huge shortage in Southern California now in housing for the number of people that we had, and so building starts in that industry is very important for the economy also. But just the cost of living and things like that. So it was 2.5 hours of talking about economics, and everybody each had their own opinion on how things could be better. But the feeling was more about, well, it's really not as bad as it seems. But there could be room for improvement, obviously. So it is what it is. And so that was last week. And then I attended an investment committee meeting at City Hall, and we went over a lot of our city investments. Unfortunately, we just don't earn the kind of money and interest that we used to get. We used to get 5, 6, 7% all the time on a lot of city money that we had in our accounts, and now we're lucky to get 1% on it. But at least it's safe, and then that's the important thing, is we're not. It's not high risk investments. It's pretty conservative. So that's pretty much it.
Thank you. Councilman Duncan.
Yeah, Bernie Madoff says he can get us 12%.
Oh, again? There we go. Perfect.
Yeah.
What a deal.
What a deal.
Yeah, I attended the League of California Cities from the 5th through the 7th in Long Beach. The one main thing that we voted on was to do a resolution in favor of highway safety. I have to look long and hard to find somebody that wasn't in favor of that. So, but it's always fascinating going through there, seeing they have a huge exhibit area. You see all of the latest products that are out there that cities are using for traffic signals and landscaping, all that kind of stuff, putting up Christmas lights even. On the 13th, I chaired a personnel committee meeting for the West Valley Mosquito and Vector Control District. On that same day, I attended the Chaffey College Foundation meeting that evening. We're doing a lot of scholarships for students, and I would strongly encourage students from Chino to apply at Chaffey College, because I think we're underrepresented when it comes to scholarships. On the 16th, like Tom said, we held our investment committee meeting. We had held a meeting a couple weeks before on Cal Trust, which we have maxed our contribution to. And there was some concern because Wells Fargo is our money manager, but we decided that was a separate division of Wells Fargo, so we didn't. We're not too concerned about it. We're just watching to see what happens.
Only parts of them are crooked.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
Yeah. So on the 16th, I also attended the Chamber Board meeting. And on the 17th, City Manager Ballantyne and I attended the Chaffey College Report to the Community, and that was really impressive. They basically filled the ballroom at the Doubletree Hotel in Ontario. Really great turnout. Every table had a student from Chaffey, either alumni or a current student, at their table talking about their experience at Chaffey and what Chaffey meant to them, and it was really impressive. So, and that's the end of my report.
Thank you. City Manager, anything to report?
I have no report, Mayor.
City Attorney? Cap, Sam, you got anything from the Police Department?
Nothing to report.
Thank you. Anybody who's here from the Fire Department? No report. Thank you. Okay, We will stand adjourned. The next regular meeting of the City Council will be held on Tuesday, November 1st, 2016, 7 o'clock. If we have closed session, it will be at 6 p.m. We do stand adjourned, and please drive safely on your way home.